projects and not so much utility. And after the hard lesson I learned from that, and I think many of you can see yourself in the same situation over the past years. And after that, I realized there must be a purpose and a utility behind the project, the coin, the token. It's a different names, of course. And after that, I think it was 4 years ago, I discovered a node project. And 2.5 years ago, I heard some rumors about we must find an easier way for people to get onboarded into the blockchain and the cryptocurrency. That is the technology that I think can change the most amount of people in the world over the coming years. So during that time, I heard some rumors about, okay, there's going to be an easy onboarding process coming soon, and we need an easy off-ramp also for people to using their cryptocurrency in everyday life. So then I discovered, I think it was 7 months, 8 months, something about that approximately, I discovered that Switch had the opportunity for us to own a piece of the infrastructure by running a node. And what is a node? A node is a piece of a software where you can run on your computer or through a virtual private server, and you can get rewarded tokens for doing that. And that was a great thing for me. So I'm a great contributor to this community. And I know many of you sitting here today are doing the same. So I'm glad that I get the opportunity to host this meeting today. And I'm very interested, excited, and glad to have the opportunity to introduce to you the next speaker. And that is Brad Willden. He's the president and COO at Switch Reward Card. He has been working on this project the last 18 months and has over 20 years of banking experience. Brad will be providing us with the latest updates on Switch. So I'm glad that you're here today, and we are excited to hear the latest updates on that since the last meeting. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Appreciate you helping us out in this community call. That's what we love about this blockchain project is all the community members can be involved if you want. You can participate. You can help us grow. You can help us, get that adoption of the Switch rewards outside of the Switch ecosystem. There's so many things that you all can do to help us to get to where we need to be as a successful blockchain company. So thanks, Michael, for helping us out today and being the moderator. We appreciate it. We know you're busy. So like Michael mentioned, I kind of want to share a story real quick about my background in banking. And it's kind of a funny one. So I have been, like Michael mentioned, I've been in banking for 20 years, and I've worked for 5 different regional banks. And each time I went to a new bank, they always want you to open up, your personal checking account there with them. Well, not once did I ever switch my original checking account, my personal checking account that I had set up while I was in college. Well, I want to announce, after 20 years, I've switched my personal checking account and have my direct deposit coming to my Switch checking account, which is amazing, in and of itself, because I used to take a lot of grief from the banks that I was currently working at. But just wanted you all to know I've switched that, and I have my deposit directly coming into my Switch account, which is amazing. We've been working on this a long time, so exciting news, and want to give you an update like Michael talked about. First off, we've been in alpha testing, which means there's been 15 or 17 of us internally using the Switch app. We've been using it at restaurants, the gas station, Uber Eats. As you can see, that was the very first one. I shared that at the Connect conference, but that was the very first purchase made by our VP of Marketing, Scott Touchton. I think I almost started crying when I saw that. I'm not an emotional person, but it was a very happy day when we saw that. So we've all been using it internally at different merchandisers and vendors, and it's been working great. So that is the alpha testing internally that has been going on. So that obviously happens before beta. And if we could hit to the next slide there, Zach. First, and also, it takes, where we all work remotely, I wanted to kind of give a shout out just to everyone that makes these calls work. Because we work remotely, it's a lot harder than just getting it all in the same room and making it happen. There are some more challenges to that. So just thanks to the team that's making this work today for this call. So there's our product roadmap. The nice thing is, you know, when we first started a year and a half, we had a lot of visions of what we're going to do, and we'd share that with you in calls. In fact, I think I've met with you and your team a lot, Michael, and we had our vision of what we wanted to do, and we'd share that. And things morph and change as you get down into the nuts and bolts of what you're actually doing. And we feel like this is solid, pretty solid as far as what we are going to attain and what we're going to achieve. So the next step on our roadmap is the beta testing and of our cards. And some of you have been chosen, as well as maybe some that aren't on this call, to help us. And Jay will talk a little more about that, but in our beta testing, and that is starting right now. And we're at the very, very early stages of that. Digital card launch will be next when we receive the feedback and any fixes that we may need to make during the beta test period. The other part, or probably just as much as the card release, is the rewards distribution. We are very close and have been promised by our amazing nerd team, and we'll have a little shout out to them, or a little presentation by them, which they haven't been able to in the past. But we are on track as far as the internal timelines that we have created for ourselves, and we are hopefully in the next couple of months you will see your points as well as your rewards. And like I said, we're on track with that. Green Power Pay would be after that, working that with the Green Company to make Green Power Pay integrated into the Switch card. And then there, you know, with this supply chain shortage, we hope to have our physical cards by then, and all of the black card owners will have their metal card and blue cards and all that stuff. So that's where we'll be at. Once we get that launched, we are hoping to we had to make a pivot in the international side of our cards. We had a vendor that we went all in with, and they were over promising and under delivering. So we had to make a big pivot, and we moved away from them. And right now we're in the process of reviewing other proposals and term sheets to use a international card distributor. So we want to be able to start that here. A couple of them have said, hey, once we sign that terms agreement, it will take 8 weeks to get their card to beta testing. So that's kind of the time frame on that. But like I mentioned, we have not signed any contracts yet for the global cards. We have 2 very good potentials that we've vetted out and feel strongly about. And then we have the Switch Rewards Store, which Michael talked about, you know, the utility of our Switch Rewards, and that will be able to allow those of you that are participating in the Switch community with nodes to be able to buy merchandise and different items in the Switch Rewards Store. We're super excited about that. I met with one of the vendors that will provide us some super cool you know, e-bikes and scooters, and they're excited to host their product on our rewards. And we spoke with them last night, and they have a really, really cool product. It's going crazy, and they're excited to list their product on our store. So that will be launching. And then obviously after that, we will start the merchant processing. We had Chris Highland, our CTO, sent us all a statement, and I can't remember if it was Goldman Sachs, but they sent a survey to 2,000 of their highest retailers of asking them if they will ever use crypto or receive crypto as payment. And 75% of them said yes, they will in the next 2 years be receiving some sort of stable coin. So that was a very promising you know, statement that and I think it was Goldman Sachs. If I'm wrong on that, then don't quote me, but some large financial institution sent out that survey. But the nice thing is we'll be ahead of the game when they're projected to start receiving that and be ready to roll. So that's our roadmap. just happy to have such an amazing team and a great community in the Switch product. We appreciate you, being patient with the distribution of the rewards, but we've had to, pivot and change. We are working as hard and as fast as we can to make sure that everything works. There's a lot of different moving parts in everything that we're doing, but we are excited. We're moving forward. Everyone's working hard, and we are doing what we need to accomplish to be a successful company. So that's all I've got, Michael. So thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for that update. I work at a digital bureau here in Sweden, so I know how hard it's to develop software. So you're running really fast, and we're glad for the end consumers benefiting for everything in the infrastructure you're building. So glad, and thank you for that update. And next up is Jay Anderton, VP of Operations. Jay is a valued member of the Switch team, wearing many hats. He not only handles internal operations, but external vendor relationships and customer support. Today, he will give us a status update on product testing, including the how to sell crypto and load the Switch card. So the floor is yours, Jay, and we are excited.
Thank you, Mikael. All right, first, woo! I'm excited to be here. Loving what Switch is doing. I mean, I'm really excited to hear what Kathy has to say. I'm totally aligned with what she's going to talk about. I'm just excited to be a part of the Switch team. Second, I'm really excited about the updates that I get to report on today. But that said, before we move on, I do have a couple of highlights. Next slide. No cryptocurrency is loaded onto the Switch Visa card. All assets are converted to local fiat currency prior to loading on the Visa network. USD deposits and FDIC insurance are provided through Choice Financial Group. Digital asset services and custody are provided by Prime Trust. Hey, and I just want to make sure everybody knows that no Visa cards were harmed during the making of any of the videos that we're getting ready to show, and that the Switch card images were added to protect the innocent. All right. Third, I want to thank Switch's product and development teams. There's been a lot of work to get to this point. I've worked at a couple of startups and software as a service companies before. I have found that the amount of planning, preparation, creating, getting customer feedback, cross-checking, testing, coding, more testing, more feedback, adjustments, adjusting, and then more testing is a process that every new feature goes through. But all of that is 10 or even 20 times when it comes to releasing the first feature of a new app, especially a financial software. Just to open an account, it takes KYC approval, sanctioned country watch list checks, fraud review, prevention, account number creation, and all of the move money functions, ACH, all these different things have to be tested and approved. And if that wasn't enough, Kathy and Brad did not just ask the Switch team to launch one system. Instead, they asked that Switch launch a debit card, a crypto exchange, and that you'll need to be able to deposit your fiat into that debit card with the push of a button. And oh, by the way, they want it all available globally. To do this well, I have asked the ops team to break this cake into smaller, more consumable pieces. Working with the product and development team, the ops team is excited to report on the progress since our last community call. This last time we were together, we showed the inner workings of our new iOS Visa debit card app. I'm excited to now announce that we have also started testing the Android version of the debit card app. Number two, the team is in the process of testing a new KYC vendor and is working out all of the details associated with the requirements to open a debit card account and a custodial crypto wallet. We're going to definitely need some beta testing done on the KYC process as well. So we love our beta testers that'll help us with that. And without further ado, Zach, if you could play our first video, you will see that we have started alpha testing Switch's crypto exchange and debit top-up feature. In this video, Chris Hyland, Switch's CTO, has exchanged some Bitcoin for dollars. then see in the video that he moves his 1,001 cent from the Switch's trading wallet onto the Visa debit card. The process took about 3 seconds. And once the app was refreshed, you could see the additional $1,000 in his account ready to spend. Now, this is a pretty big moment for Switch. So Zach, would you please play the video again? If you note the notification, the little red dot on the bell on the top right corner of the Visa debit card app had already received an alert indicating the money has arrived before Chris has a chance to refresh the screen. So here he clicks send. And then if you look down, the little red dot is already there and the money was there practically instantly. But let's say, 90 seconds just to save me from getting in trouble with the compliance people. Anyway, exciting stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we can sell things and then move it to where you're able to have access to it to pay for your pizza, your utility bill, or gas. All right, Nathan Crowley, Switch's product lead, Kristen Jolly, the director of operations, and I have been working on setting up beta groups. If you were, next slide, if you were selected to be a beta user and you're an iOS user, you should have received an NDA and an invite email. Please check your spam folder if you signed up and you didn't see these emails. If you're an Android user, the invites and NDA will be sent to you sometime this week. All of this work and establishing procedures on how the beta testing will work has been in preparation. With Kathy and Brad's permission, I wanted to officially announce that alpha testing is over and that Switch card and the crypto is moving to beta testing. Zach, please play the next video.
Hey everybody, my name is Diana Townsend and I am in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. I am at Atlantic Station. I'm gonna be shopping today. I'm gonna spend, I'm gonna send, I'm gonna store, and I'm gonna switch my rewards today. And I want you guys to follow me on the journey. Check out my t-shirt. All right, let's go. Hey everybody, I am actually in Victoria's Secret making a purchase. I'm gonna use my Switch debit card. If you guys can watch the transaction, it's $70.43. I'm gonna hold my card up to the reader. Ask me to put in my PIN. You guys are gonna watch the order process. All right, now I'm paying for my lunch here at the VGR. I'm gonna hold my card up to the register. It's gonna ask me, do I wanna leave a tip? I'm gonna leave a tip. Sign my name, continue. All right, so I'm here at the gas station. I'm gonna put some gas in the car. Tap on it and double click. Hold it next to the reader. And it's asking me to put in my PIN. It's asking me, do I want a receipt? And now I can get the gas. All of my purchases today have been flawless. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Deanna, for showing Switch users the possibilities of the Visa debit card. Again, no debit cards were injured, but a spending wallet was consumed. Just let you know, it was a good day. All right, beta testing, next slide, is very much a hurry up and wait type of event. With the initial iOS and Android beta testers onboarded last week, we saw a number of items we wanted to change and fix. Once these items have been adjusted and a new release comes out, we'll bring on more beta testers looking to obtain feedback and ensure our changes have been fixed and done for the intended purpose. So these first few weeks will be painfully slow. Did I say painfully slow? I mean painfully slow. But then there's a limit testing and my favorite, load testing. Load testing is where we will ask a large group of the beta testers to onboard at the same time, sign into the app simultaneously, and finally make a transaction at the exact same moment to see if we can break the app or to see if our servers are adequately prepared to take on what we anticipate Switch's growth is going to be. So lots of work to be done, and I'm excited for the beta testing to finally be underway. I would also like to ask for and thank the beta testers for their patience. If we were releasing a game or say a recipe app, I suspect things would move much faster. However, it takes time to validate and test each feature with the apps controlling and moving money. All right, fourth, I wanted to mention that we're still working with Visa on our third-party card provider to obtain approval for the card artwork. That said, as Brad mentioned, when the Breda groups open their account, we will be digitally only for a period of time. To that end, Kathy and Brad authorized a new feature that I personally, I've said that excited word a lot. I'm actually really excited about this feature. But Zach, the next video. Yesterday, with Switch app version 1.0026 and what's actually been updated to 28, Apple Pay push provisioning was added to the iOS app. Here you can see in the video that the card was added to my Apple Pay wallet on my phone with just a click of a button. In Deanna's video, you can see that she was out spending using her cell phone to perform countless contactless transactions. This new feature can also add a digital debit card to your watch. Yes, your watch. You can use your watch to authorize the purchase of gas or pay at a restaurant that accepts Apple Pay. I want to thank Apple for helping make the push provisioning a reality. Okay, fifth, with all the new features and functions comes some logistics. Kristen Ricks, our customer support manager, and her team are busy at work creating FAQs, email notices, and training to help Switch users maximize their enjoyment of using the crypto exchange and card payment systems. A lot of work comes with the very first feature of software as a service app. We're hopeful that all goes well with the exchange alpha testing and that the entire feature set will be made available to the general public in the US sooner rather than later. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much, Jay. And me as a community member and a node owner are very glad for this progress and what's going on. So very thankful for that update. So that's great. And I'm sure I'm talking for everybody in the community. So thank you so much. So next to speak is Adrianne Miller. She is the compliance officer at Switch. Yes, Switch has a compliance officer. Today we got to meet the person tasked to protect the Switch and the community. So welcome, and we are excited to hear about how we can protect the community and the project.
Well, thank you, Michael. I'll make this short and sweet because no one aside from me and maybe the attorneys think compliance is fun and exciting. And while it's not fun in the definition of the word, it is very much needed. So as Michael said, my name is Adrianne Miller. I am the BSA AML and compliance officer here at Switch. I have been in the compliance space for a little under 20 years, working in the traditional bank environment with companies such as JP Morgan Chase and Stride Bank, working with some of your well-known fintech and payment companies, working in the subprime lending space, and working in the SaaS industry. I say that to say I am no stranger to the ever-changing regulatory environment that the compliance world and new industries and new technologies provide. So my sole responsibility here at Switch is to promote ethical conduct, to make sure our company is in compliance with the rules, regulations, and processes that govern how Switch should and will do business to remain a sustainable company. And we will do all this while encouraging innovation, growth, and development. So, compliance very much is a team effort and a joint responsibility that touches every part of our business, and from finance to IT to customer support and even marketing. And if everyone keeps up with industry news, you've seen over the past several months, companies in our space have received cease and desist orders, have been issued fines for the reason of simply not complying with state, federal, or international rules. companies have been cited for non-compliance in areas such as the BSA and know your customer requirements. Jay mentioned and threw that acronym out in the operations talk. Money laundering rules for failure to monitor the activity on the platform. Sanctions compliance, doing business with individuals and entities on the SDN list, or some know it as OFAC. Cybersecurity regulations, failure to comply with certain data security and consumer protection requirements. And most recently, we've seen claims in false advertising for providing false information to consumers in their marketing and customer-facing communications. And that's just a few. So I know me saying all of that has probably overwhelmed many of you, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. And while I can talk about compliance literally all day, because I am one of those people who geek out in this area, I won't bore you. Just know that I am here. The Switch exec team and the staff are here, and we are committed to the safety and soundness of our compliance program, which means we're looking out for the best interests of Switch so we can remain a viable and sustainable company, and looking out for the best interests of our Switch community. So I know that was a lot. I know you guys are probably bored out, to death, but no, while it's not fun, compliance and following the rules and making sure we are protecting the business and you is a necessary. And if you guys have any questions or you just want to talk compliance, feel free to reach out to me through the support team. Thank you, guys. And back to you, Mikael.
Thank you so much for protecting their project. I'm very glad for that. And next up is a person that bringing a history of sales and marketing in various industries. Scott Touchton, VP of Sales and Marketing, will provide us with how to stay in touch. So the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you helping us out today. It's always nice to hear back from our community and to have y'all and Deanna all here. I saw Prelvis, also a good friend of the community, in the attendee list today. So it's great to have the community as part of this project. I want to say, this is our second community call, so we're appreciating everybody be on. We're going to continue to do these in the future. So I want to show you basically all our social media links and ways to stay in touch with us, ways that we'll be communicating with you, so that you can be up to date on all these exciting updates with everything we're working on, we're rolling out. First of all, just our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Those is how we push out notifications like this call. So just make sure you're following us on all those links. Our support team, we're very, very proud of our support team. We're excited and we're thankful for our support team. In this industry, as you may or may not be aware, customer support, customer success is something that's also typically overlooked or an afterthought, where we want that up front, and we're very excited and stay in touch with our customer support. So feel free to reach out with them. We're continually adding to our Zendesk and our frequently asked questions, to answer your questions from a help desk, but also an educational standpoint. So feel free to reach out to them with any questions, or just, have fun on the website in the frequently asked questions area. Also, that along that is we just started our blog. So our blog, we're trying to be educational in the crypto space, educational in the financial space, the fintech space, because it can be intimidating. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of, I think, big syllable words and acronyms people throw around to try to make it more complicated than it needs to be. And we try to educate the community and help the community. Also, we recently rolled out our email newsletter, the Switchboard. That we tried to get that to all our node owners, our card waiting list. If you didn't get it and you want to make sure, either reach out to support or on our website, join the waiting list for the cards, and that'll get you added to our email newsletter. Also, just this call, we're recording this call. We'll get this posted up to our YouTube page and we'll link to that. So if you want to rewatch it or share it with anybody, or just get the family around together and watch this entertaining television, we're happy to provide that for you. Again, my name's Scott. We look forward to growing this community and working with y'all and getting these more updates out to you. And we appreciate your time today. And back to you, Mikael, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Scott. Communication is key, and it's great for us community members to have all that communication going through to everyone. So thank you so much for that update. And to talk about what has been happening with the Switch product and development team, we have Nick Bernard. Nick is a senior technical project manager with 20 years of experience from many different industries. Nick has the product and dev team been doing what since last time? It's going to be interesting, and welcome, and the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much. I, like Jay, am very, very excited. I say a little under 2 months ago, we were sat down by the Switch executives as a dev team, and we were asked, can you, due to a pivot in our vendors, rebuild us an MVP product and integrate 3 new vendors at the same time and have it all done by the end of the first week of August? And I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit intimidating, but one thing I love about our dev team is they're never scared of a challenge, and we all decided not only did we want to do this just to deliver for Switch, but every single member of our team we have ownership in Switch. We're our node owners, so we're very invested in the community. And to give you an idea of the type of work these guys have been doing, I was about 170 pounds and no beard before we started, but we kind of set up shop in the office. And if you look at my polo shirt, I used to have dark brown hair, but now it's the same color as my polo shirt. So they definitely put in a lot of hours, and I'm the type of project manager. If my guys are here, I'm going to be here, but we brought in a lot of meals, and yes, they were paid for with our Switch card. And I'm here to testify that food that is purchased with your Switch card tastes infinitely better than when it's purchased with any other card. And I'm just hoping we don't have to do something at this timeline again, or my hairline might end up looking like my good friends Scott and Brad, so we are so happy about what we've done and what we've been able to bring to this community. Like I said, Mikael said, I've been doing project management for about 20 years. I've never met a more dedicated team of developers that put it all on the line for this community because they really wanted to have a win. And thank you so much to the team, and back to you, Mikael.
Thank you so much. Really a great update, and I know how hard it is to develop things, and very glad for that. So thank you for that update. And what I'm also very glad about is that all these great entrepreneurs coming into this space and changing the space for the better, to do great things for the end consumer and create utilities. So I'm really glad for that. And we have a very special person that is Kathy Roberts, Chairman and CEO of Switch. And Kathy not only has an extensive banking background, she is an innovator and will be providing us with the final thoughts. And the floor is yours, and we are excited to hear about what's going on.
Thank you, Michael. I have enjoyed every moment of this, and obviously we've all marched through it several times, but I want to first of all say hello and thank you for attending this second live update. I'm Kathy Roberts, Chair and CEO, but hearing from each one of these business heads, even though I've heard it before, is really thrilling. And I'm the cause of, signing the deal that said, we're going to change directions. And everybody fell right in line. Brad had to take a trip overseas. People were scrambling to do these things and these kinds of deadlines. I never heard one murmur. Of course, maybe they were just hiding it from me, but not one murmur of complaint of we're changing directions and we're going to get it done in about 60 days. That's a pretty amazing feat. So whether you're a node owner who's waiting to hear more about your distributions of your points or your awards, or whether you're waiting for your card, both of those are very, very near to conclusion, and those products will be available. And so as we move through this, I am very thankful to have this kind of dedicated team, to have the kind of people who are engaged in what they do every day and take each portion of this project very seriously. I couldn't be prouder of this group. Right now, I'd like to make a switch. And with that, I want to talk about a different topic. I'm also on the board of directors for a charity called Who Lives, and it's all about clean water. This group was started by John Renard, who was visiting a village where his child was on a mission, and he saw people drinking what he assumed was iced tea. Well, it turned out they were drinking water. When John returned back to the United States, he set on his new mission of providing clean water to the entire world. And like Switch, we want to move throughout the entire world. He had designs for a drill that did not require heavy trucks and equipment, and has since mastered the delivery of about 123 wells in 37 countries. Now, Who Lives is a 501(c)(3), but what was also discovered is that the communities who need this water the most would benefit by their own engagement or ownership in the wells. So the equipment is delivered for the well, there's training and direction, and the whole village participates in the drill. On average, each family pays about $2 per month for 10 months to purchase their well. And then their pride in ownership kicks right in, and they protect this precious asset, working for the good of the community. The transformation in these communities includes not only clean drinking water, but a source for farming and animal upkeep, and provides a source of income. I personally donate to Switch and to Who Lives, and Switch made its first donation earlier this year. Now, as we roll out the card, there will be a way to make recurring payments. Donations to Who Lives will be featured as an option along with other monthly payments that you might want to make. John has educated us so much on how to provide clean water worldwide. And then he also calculated that it only takes about $5 billion, and then the whole thing will be resolved. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of money, but Who Lives has outperformed every other water charity in the world on a very small budget. And that includes those celebrity water charities, etc. He has a group of dedicated individuals who set out to change the world one well at a time. I have been touched by this goal to provide something I've always taken for granted most of my life. I hope that you will join us in learning more about this extraordinary organization and their vision of how clean water helps prevent sickness. It lowers the risk for women and girls who are typically required to walk long distances to retrieve that water, and improves overall economies. The website for Who Lives is on the screen, and it's easy to find out more about their accomplishments through their website and newsletters. There is a trip to Kenya coming up right around the corner in September, and there are still seats available. It's very affordable. You would have the opportunity to join in and look at some of those projects firsthand. Switch will make it easy for you to donate, and you too can help spread the word about this important project. For today, this wraps up our update. I hope that if you had questions that you put them through on the direct messaging tool, but remember that we try to anticipate your questions on our FAQs on the website. You might also think of the question later on, and you can contact our support through Zendesk, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget about the other things that Scott talked about the newsletter, social media, as we mentioned earlier. I'd like to thank all of you for attending, and we hope to see you again very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.